I was surrounded by darkness and couldn't see anything. I had to feel my way as I moved. Small stones were lying on the ground and water was dripping somewhere. It was so scary and unfair. I was stuck there all alone and probably wouldn't get out. Suddenly, a ray of light appeared ahead of me. I squeezed my eyes shut, and the next second, I heard a familiar voice. Hey, are you there? Hi, my name is Dan. Until recently, I was a very ordinary guy, but one day, everything changed. I had a sister called Sandra. I was 2 years older than her, and our parents always made me look after her. One day, we went to the mountains, and Sandra almost fell off a cliff. Since then, Mom and Dad had been very protective of her. If my sister got into trouble, I got blamed for it. One day, I saw Sandra hanging out with some suspicious-looking guys after school. They looked older, especially one of them. I heard part of their conversation and realized that they were about to go somewhere. Mom and Dad definitely wouldn't have liked that. We're going home. Don't tell me what to do. Stop embarrassing me! I'm responsible for you, so deal with it. She tried to keep arguing with me, but I just dragged her home. In the evening, Mom and Dad went to the theater and brought Sandra along. I was left alone and immediately sat down at the computer. You probably just thought that I wanted to play video games or watch a movie, but that wasn't the case. I had always liked singing. I even used to go to a music school, but quickly dropped out. I had a beautiful but very high-pitched voice. The other students had made fun of me for sounding like a girl. Recently, I had decided to start singing again. I had chosen online lessons so that no one but my teacher would see me. Her name was Miss Peters. Dan, I have good news. A prestigious singing contest is taking place in a week. You sound great, so you could perform there. I hesitated. On the one hand, I really wanted to, but on the other, everyone would laugh at me again. Miss Peters tried to convince me, but I didn't give in. Then, she suggested something unexpected. If you're too shy to try it, dress up as a girl. You are slim and have delicate facial features. No one would suspect anything. What? Dress up as a girl? No way! At least try it. What's the worst that could happen? In the end, she managed to convince me. The next day, I came over to her place. It was the first time we were meeting in real life. Miss Peters sat me down in a chair and did my makeup. She gave me her clothes and put a wig on my head. Why had I agreed to it all? When I looked in the mirror, I was stunned. I looked like a real girl. Miss Peters and I were rehearsing when someone suddenly rang the doorbell. She went to open it, and I heard annoyed voices. I cautiously looked out into the corridor. You will have serious problems if you don't pay us. When Miss Peters came back to the living room, she looked upset. What happened? I took a loan from a bank, but now I can't pay it off. Okay, let's do this. The next day, I came home from school early. We had agreed she would keep teaching me offline. I was about to go to her place when I suddenly saw Sandra. She was talking to the guy who had been standing outside the school yesterday. He handed her a heavy backpack. What's in the backpack? And who's that weirdo? Rick isn't weird, and that's none of your business. I wanted to ask a couple more questions, but I was running late for class. Soon, the day of the contest came. You can't imagine how worried I was. Miss Peters did her magic, and I looked so different my own mother wouldn't have recognized me. A lot of people had come to watch us perform. Being on stage was scary, but I did great anyway. While I was singing, I suddenly noticed my sister. Rick was standing next to her. Damn it! What were they doing there? I almost stuttered, but managed to pull myself together. I hoped Sandra hadn't recognized me. It was hard to believe, but I won! I was even interviewed after the contest. Naturally, I didn't talk much about my life. That only fueled everyone's interest. In the evening, Miss Peters and I sat at her house and celebrated my victory. By the way, I've already signed you up for the next contest. It will take place very soon. Then, her phone rang. It soon became clear that it was the people from the bank calling. Miss Peters looked really upset. I can give you the cash prize. This is your victory too. No, I'll deal with it myself. That was the day my double life began. I won the second contest, then the third, and fourth. I kept being invited to various concerts and became more popular by the day. Everyone wanted to know about the personal life of the popular singer, but I didn't tell them anything. I practically never spent the money I earned so that my parents wouldn't find out about my hobby. But one day, I almost got busted anyway. I was still bad at walking in heels. One day I put on shoes and a dress and practiced walking in my room. Then I heard footsteps outside the door. A few moments later, Sandra came in. She wasn't supposed to be back so early. I barely managed to hide in the closet in time. Whew, that was close. Soon, I started to notice that my sister was acting weird. She skipped classes and looked tired all the time. For some reason, she only went to the shower late at night when everyone was already asleep. It seemed suspicious. One day, I cornered her. She had just come out of the bathroom wrapped in a towel. That was when I noticed a lot of bruises on her arms and legs. What is this? Back off, I just fell! She pushed me away and quickly disappeared into her room. She was definitely lying. I decided not to tell Mom and Dad anything and just watch her for now. That wasn't hard to do. Sandra and Rick came to my concerts all the time. At first, I was worried about it, but my sister didn't recognize me, and I relaxed. One day, after performing, I saw that they were arguing. Rick was yelling at Sandra. I wanted to intervene, but remembered what I looked like. Soon, the same thing happened again. I really wanted to punch that jerk. I didn't even care that he was twice my size. It suddenly dawned on me what was going on. Sandra's bruises, her fights with Rick, he was hurting her. I couldn't just leave it at that. After the concert, I quickly changed my clothes and ambushed them near our house. Leave my sister alone, got it?
Or what?
Or you'll regret it. We almost got into a fight. Sandra was terrified and tried to separate us. Then, our parents came out on the porch.
What's going on here?
Sandra fell in with the wrong crowd. Just look at this guy. I didn't even mention her bruises. Mom and Dad could have gone to the police, and my sister didn't need that on top of everything else. Anyway, Mom and Dad freaked out, and Sandra was forbidden from talking to Rick. Of course, she resented that and didn't want to talk to me. I hoped she would soon get over it and realize I was right. Soon, I was asked to perform at a festival in a neighboring city. Climbers were meeting up there, so a lot of people came to watch the festival. Do you think I should go? Of course! That's a great idea! Miss Peters looked sad all the time. I had saved up a decent amount of money and offered it to her again. No, I can't accept it. She stood firm. When I got home, I saw Sandra talking to Mom and Dad. Our class is going on an excursion this weekend. Can I go? Mom called the school and made sure Sandra wasn't lying. Our parents hesitated a little, but let her go. She left to pack, and I decided it was my chance. My class is coming too. I'll look after Sandra. Don't tell her or she'll freak out. Of course, Mom and Dad immediately agreed. They left for work early in the morning. I was about to leave when I noticed that Sandra was carrying a heavy backpack again. Why would she need to bring so many things for 2 days? I grew suspicious again, but didn't have the time to question her. The festival took place at the foot of the mountains. The organizers had set up a campsite and a large stage nearby. I got a spacious VIP tent, left my things in it, and went for a walk. At some point, a familiar guy came up to me. It was Rick.
Can I get your autograph?
I reluctantly agreed, even though I wanted to punch him. Rick, are you coming? I turned around and saw Sandra. What was she doing there? She was supposed to be on an excursion. My sister and I looked at each other. I was afraid she'd recognize me in daylight, so I quickly left. I was sitting in my tent with no idea what to do. Should I call my parents and tell them Sandra was talking to Rick again? But then my secret would be out too. It was stuffy in the tent. At some point, I couldn't stand it and took off my wig. Before I could breathe a sigh of relief, Sandra looked into the tent. I stared at her in horror. I knew it was you! I had my suspicions when I watched the performances. Your voice sounded familiar, but I thought I was going crazy. And today, when I saw you up close, I recognized you. Why are you here and not on an excursion? I took up rock climbing a long time ago. I got those bruises during practice. Rick is my coach. He keeps scolding me and insisting I tell my parents about my hobby, but they will definitely forbid me from leaving the house if I do. They got so overprotective after I almost fell off the cliff after all. I was shocked. What's in that heavy backpack? The climbing equipment? Why are you performing dressed as a girl? I had to tell her everything. Sandra and I made a truce and promised not to rat each other out to our parents. And one more thing. I like Rick, but lately he's been falling for the girl you're pretending to be. That's why he's been bringing me to all these concerts. When he found out you were going to perform at the camp, he went crazy. Could you talk to him and turn him down? I didn't know how to do that, but in the evening, Rick came up to me himself. I don't know how to say it, but I fell in love with your voice. I've never met a girl as amazing as you. You're my dream. That made me cringe. I was so confused, it made me speechless. I didn't know what to say, and Rick was already leaning in. Damn it, was he gonna kiss me? In the end, I blurted out the first thing that came to my mind. Sorry, I need to rehearse. I quickly left and saw Sandra in the bushes. She'd heard the whole conversation and looked close to tears. You didn't tell him anything on purpose. You just don't want me to be with Rick. I tried to explain, but she wouldn't listen and ran away. The concert took place the next day. The climbers were supposed to compete before it, but for some reason the competition was canceled. I was interviewed before my performance. One journalist wouldn't leave me alone. She asked me a lot of tricky questions. I barely got rid of her. Before going on stage, I saw her talking to Sandra. What could that be about? I felt uneasy. The audience loved my performance. Everything was going great until something terrible happened. That journalist suddenly ran onto the stage. No one had the time to react. In just a few seconds, she tore the wig off my head. It felt like I was stuck in a nightmare. The audience saw that the popular singer was actually a guy. They buzzed indignantly, and someone started laughing. They started taking pictures of me while Rick's friends hurled insults. I couldn't stand it and ran off the stage. On the way, I bumped into Sandra and immediately pushed her away. It was all her doing. She must have told that journalist about me to get revenge for Rick. I was immediately surrounded by paparazzi, but I managed to escape. I headed to the mountains, hoping to get away from it all. I felt horrible. When I opened my social media, I saw a lot of hateful comments. My sister had gone too far and ruined my life. The skies suddenly turned dark, and I heard thunder. I knew I should go back, but then it started pouring rain. I slipped and dropped my phone. It fell into a crevice between the rocks. I tried to pull it out, but then lightning suddenly struck nearby. I hid in the nearest cave and relaxed a little, but then I felt a strong vibration. The walls and the ground trembled under my feet. The next moment, there was a cave-in. I barely had the time to jump back. The entrance to the cave was blocked, and I found myself in absolute darkness. My phone had been left outside, so I didn't even have a flashlight with me. How was I supposed to get out now? I panicked and lost track of time. At first, I sat still, but then I decided to move deeper into the cave. I had to feel my way as I moved. Small stones were lying on the ground, and water was dripping somewhere. It was so scary and unfair. I was stuck there all alone and probably wouldn't get out. Suddenly, a ray of light appeared ahead of me. Dan, are you here? Sandra came around the corner. I had never been so happy to see her. How did you find me? I realized you went to the mountains and followed you after the rain stopped. Didn't you hear the warning about a storm and possibility of landslides? Was that why they canceled the competition? Yeah, I called you. Luckily, I found your phone by the sound. Then I saw the cave-in and realized what had happened. Thank God there was a second entrance. So you felt guilty after betraying me and decided to save me? I didn't betray you. That journalist was just asking me questions. She had probably known about it all for a long time already. I saw that she wasn't lying and explained what had happened with Rick. We cleared everything up and made up. When we came back to our hometown, I kept being mocked, especially at school. My parents also found out about my secret life and didn't know how to react. I decided to quit singing. I was going to tell Miss Peters about it in person, but decided to do something else first. One day, she'd mentioned which bank she had taken the loan from. I came there to pay it off. Miss Peters had done so much for me. Sorry, but there is no loan in such a name. Are you sure? Could you check it again? There is no mistake. Miss Peters only has a personal account here. I didn't understand anything. Was I the one who had made a mistake? I went to her house and saw something unexpected. Miss Peters was standing in the yard and talking to the journalist who had torn off my wig. I crept closer. Everything is perfect as usual. Dan's story is a real sensation, even better than the previous one. She handed Miss Peters a bulky envelope. I couldn't believe my eyes. Had my teacher exposed me? What is the meaning of this? Oh, so you heard? Well, it doesn't matter anymore. That's right, I gave away your little secret. By the way, I made a lot of money thanks to it. I suddenly heard a siren, and a police car drove up to the house. Cops and the man who had once come to Miss Peters got out of it. He turned out to be an agent of a famous artist. My teacher had been betraying her students for a long time. She gave singing lessons, found out her pupils' secrets, and leaked information to the journalists.
We finally caught her red-handed.
Take your hands off of me! You have no right! She was grabbed and pushed into a car. The story could have ended there, but things didn't go as I expected. After a while, a production company contacted me.
You will perform at a concert under your real name. If everything goes well, we will sign a contract with you. Are you in?
The offer was tempting, but I was sure everyone would laugh at me. How could I go on stage if everyone hated me? I decided to ask Sandra for advice. Of course you should do it! Stop whining! You have a unique talent! As a result, I risked it. And you know what? A lot of people came to watch my performance. To my surprise, most of them weren't my haters. Everyone was interested in the guy with the unusual voice. I signed a contract with the company, and my career went uphill. Mom and Dad supported me and were proud of me. One day, I decided to talk to them. Sandra has been rock climbing for a long time. She didn't tell you because she's afraid you won't understand. She's already a grown-up, so you should stop being so overprotective. Just let her do what she wants. Of course, they were stunned. At first, the news scared them, but I managed to calm them down. Sandra gradually fell out of love with Rick and started dating another guy. We've grown very close. That's how I turned from an insecure guy into an idol and fulfilled my dream. Do you have the courage to be yourself?
Hey squad! Like to see your life in comics? Stories that are so embarrassing that even friends do not know about them. Don't say you don't have such ones. They belong on the Anon Please channel. Check it out! Click here.